Whew. It's happening. I'm so excited. Waiting for Mercury. Connecting.
Oh, hello.
Hi! Ooh, do you have like a fancy Instagram setup?
I don't. Well, I have my phone on a little thing, but
It's cool that you
that's
have
about it.
headphones on. That's smart.
I only did it the better to hear you with.
That's really smart.
I've been reading a lot of Red. What? Who's that story about? Red
Little
Riding
Red
Hood is her
Riding
name.
Hood. Yeah. So
Yay!
I'm so glad you're here. And
I'm so glad to be
I
here.
even wore my glasses so I can see the things that we wrote down yesterday better. I put them on today and I was like, wow, these really help.
They do
Uh,
help.
so I was just telling my grammars that I've been inspired to talk to other songwriters about their processes
Mm.
because I'm starting to sound like a broken record in my own songwriting teachings, and I'm just like hungry for other inspiration and processes and stuff like that. But most
Yeah.
importantly, as you and I talked yesterday,
Hmm.
was just thinking that we could just like kind of have some fun here and talk to each other.
Totally.
How are you doing?
Um, I'm doing good. My phone is like low key freaking out. I might like X out and come right back in if that's okay.
That's fine.
Okay, cool. I will be. Oh wait. Yeah, I'll be back in a second.
It's cool. I'm used to being totally alone.
Bye. Have a great life.
So I'm going to take this opportunity to pour myself a cup of tea and to read you guys a poem. This poem was written by my father and is also better to be read with glasses. Oh, thank you. I love this blouse too. Oh, maybe I won't read you the poem. It looks like Mike's already back in the game. Da 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 da. Here he comes.
Hi.
Okay.
I'm back.
So I was just about to read them the final draft of Human Flesh.
Great. Great.
So yesterday during our sound check for this call, we were gonna high five like this, and I said, "Who knows when the next time is we'll actually get to touch each other?" Ha 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 ha! Coronavirus. And then you said, "Human flesh is now untouched."
Unknown?
Unknown.
Yeah.
Human flesh is now unknown.
Yeah.
And I said, ooh, I'm writing that down because it sounded like a really messed up lyric. And I think that I get that instinct from my father, who's always looking for the lyric of like a really crazy song. And oftentimes I'll be like texting with him and we'll be like, song lyric, ha 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 ha. And then 5 minutes later, I'll get one of these. I'm not going to show it to you because I'm all plugged in. But he sent us a text message yesterday that is 4 verses of Human Flesh is Now Unknown. Would you like to hear it?
Yes, I would love to.
Okay. Human flesh is now unknown. Unknown sinew, unknown bone. 7 weeks of all alone. Bank account completely blown. Human flesh is now untouched. Toilet paper still unflushed. My hair begs to be retouched. Former clutched things now unclutched.
Woo!
Had a band, but now I'm solar. Hair is straight, forget the roller. Dentist closed, I broke a molar. Stuck at home in vortex polar.
Wow.
9 weeks now I'm stuck at home. Ice cream melted, empty cone. Ducks swam off, I'm all alone. Spends all day on the telephone. Regina, won't you come back home? The end.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Can't take
That's
credit.
so good. It's so good.
It's my dad.
I feel like, okay, if we're being real, that feels a bit like, it feels a bit like a relay race, right? Like you were the first leg, I was the second leg, and he like took it the long haul.
This is what I'm talking about, Michael Mayo. Okay, so I will be taking notes. Anytime you say something that is genius, I will be writing it down.
At the end of this meeting, you will have one note.
There it is.
Done.
The reason why I got excited by that is that my original inspiration for this call, if you can call it that, um, is that there's this like, okay, tell me if you follow me here. When you're a kid, and let's just, a random example is like you have a video camera and you're just like hanging out on a Saturday with your best friend, running around, and it's like summertime.
Yep.
That's one example. Another example is like, again, you're hanging out with your friend, maybe it's weekend or like after school, and you're making up a game as you go along. And both of these examples have this like nostalgic, just pure joy feeling of like this, the way that we followed our imaginations in this kind of joyful way in childhood and adolescence, and how can we bring that into songwriting and make songwriting like this game that is like you never want it to end and you never want to be called home for dinner kind of a thing.
Totally. Yep.
So I thought,
yeah, I hear that and feel that so strongly. That, I mean, definitely that gives me like a very specific memory.
Ooh,
like
more.
So one time in middle school, I want to say this was maybe like 6th grade, 7th grade, whatever, general middle school. A really good friend of mine who grew up together, she's a really awesome singer. And my parents are musicians and her parents are also musicians. So whenever like both of our parents would be on tour, we would go stay at the other person's house and vice versa. And one time she was staying with us, and my mom had just like started teaching me how to use GarageBand. And she would give us these little assignments, these like writing assignments. She's like, so you're gonna make like a 60-second commercial about some product that you invent, or now you're gonna like write a song about a thing. And so this particular day we were supposed to write a song about something. I don't remember what the prompt was exactly, but she ended up writing a song about fungus, and I ended up writing a song about farts. And so, did I ever play this? I don't think I ever played this for you. It might drop on my debut album, let's be real. But it was like that exact feeling of like, we have no sort of constraints other than just like make something and just like involve yourself in the joy of it all. And like the final product is really funny.
Is it something that you would play live today now in your band?
Probably not. I could see it happening maybe like album number 2 tour, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But album number 1 has to be really serious, you know what I mean? It has to be really, really serious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something that we were talking about yesterday is this like, so you have these kinds of songwriting experiences where it's all joy and all inspiration and all muse, if you will, and where like how to make the balance between that and like bringing in a little of the critical mind and the structure and stuff so that you create something that's like serious enough for your first record.
Yeah.
What's your relationship to that?
Yeah. I kind of try to, as much as I can, because my relationship with my critic voice tends to be a little like gnarly. So I try, at least at the beginning of the songwriting process, to just like write a little thing. And then once I feel the inkling of it, I'll usually like stand up, like go do something else for like a second and then come back. And sometimes for me, I've found that I get into this routine of like starting and stopping, but the stopping I only really do for like, I never really engage. I try not to engage in another activity, like really sort of rest into it, so that it doesn't become sort of a tool for avoidance. Like I try to just have it be like a little sip of tea between like meals or something. You know what I mean? Like there's a song that I wrote for the record called Bones, and all I had was a melody and one lyric. I had the whole melody and I had the first lyric, and I was like, I need this lyric to be what the song is about, but I literally could not. It took me so long to figure out what I wanted the song to be about. Yeah. And the first lyric of the song is "Don't Sweat the Cold Rock."
Ooh.
And
I remember this one. I I remember this one.
Yeah, I played it for you.
Yeah.
And I remember like I wrote it down. And I wrote it down in my notebook like 15 times. I'm like, what does this mean? What does this mean? Who does this apply to? Like, what is the character? Who would say this and mean it? And finally, the only way I was able to make it make sense was I had to form an entire narrative about a person for whom that sentence was true.
Mm-hmm.
Da, 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 da. And
Yeah.
now it's like it's one of my favorite songs I've ever written because it kind of like, instead of trying to like force a thing with lyrics, like stock lyrics that already have sort of emotions attached to them, like, you are the one I love and I send you to the skies above, which, like, no shame at all, no shade, but like, that's already a thing that we've heard, that we understand. I've never heard anyone say don't sweat the cold rock, and I don't know what it means, so I have to make it mean something.
Yes, 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 yes. Someone told me recently that Paul Simon has a book like this of backstory for every protagonist of every song that he's ever written.
Whoa.
And it works.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like to boil it down to who, like protagonist, who's talking, who's the perspective, who has the perspective, where are they, both in what space, like a home or whatever, and geographically. What are they doing? Maybe also some visual characteristics, like what do they look like? What gender do they identify as? How old are they? Every detail that you would want to know about a character in a movie. What are they feeling? Yeah. And maybe most importantly, what do they want? Because suddenly what do they want, like, takes you out of the present and slightly into, like, leaning into maybe the future or the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's something about having that backstory about the character. I mean, it's not rocket science. It takes you from being in this amorphous, unknown realm where you're like grasping at ideas willy-nilly to suddenly you have all the information and now you're just choosing your favorite parts.
Totally. I really like how you said that. It sort of reminds me of like what we were talking about yesterday about like pick a name, give it some adjectives, pick another name, give that name some adjectives, put them in a room and watch them interact.
Yes.
And it's like, that's sort of what you just said reminds me of that.
Okay, I'd love to keep going. So this was an exercise that you said that you came up with, right? And something that you've played around with before. And I would love to play that out a little bit for the people that are tuning in. So totally. Can you walk us through either one that you've done before, or we could do one fresh? Okay.
Sure. Well, I'll do one that I've, just to sort of establish what the vibe is.
Yeah.
Sorry. So basically the idea is you pick a name, however many characters you want. For this case, I did 3, and then you attach adjectives to them. Yeah. So the first character in this story that I wrote, his name is Sant, and what I wrote was he's slow-paced, deep voice. A little bit dopey on the surface, but also like randomly wise, and he laughs a lot, always chuckling as he talks, no sense of shyness whatsoever. Wow. And then another character's name is Garbo. Garbo, lol. Yeah. Garbo is a goofball, wisecracker, doesn't take things seriously, wants to impress this other character, babbles when he's around her. He's best friends with the other guy, and he sort of puts his foot in his mouth a lot. And so like, and then the third character, her name is Laurel. She's bored, unimpressed, very serious, doesn't laugh at anything except for random things that nobody else finds funny and she can't stop laughing to. And then the setting was the arcade, so I just put them in the arcade. And I started with both Garbo and Sant together, and then I had Laurel entering later, and that was all of the prompt that I gave myself. And then it just sort of unfolded.
How did it unfold?
It started with, the first line is, pew, pew, pew. It's this kid playing arcade games, and he's like trying to kill aliens. And it's just like one guy playing games and the other guy cheering the other guy on. And it sort of unfolds into this whole thing where he gets distracted by this girl who walks in, and then the alien that he's been beating the whole time finally like comes back with a vengeance, and it's like a whole situation.
Oh, so the alien kind of has a role too.
The alien kind of has a role, but it's a computer alien, so it's not like actual character. It's sort of like a background character that just like shows up from time to time.
That's so cool. That's so. Can we hear you sing a little bit of it?
Well, it's not a song. This one's not a song.
Oh, sorry. Can we hear you sing a little bit anyway?
Pew pew pew, take that, killer aliens.
Now it's a song. I actually really like that. Pew pew pew. That's like a new scat syllable.
Pew pew pew. That's a good one.
Yeah, I really like that actually. Well, can you read a bit of it then?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll do the first couple of lines. So their voices are different. I've never done it in real time. Basically, it's like, pew pew pew. Take that, killer aliens. This is my planet, and I'll protect it till the day I die. Laser sounds in the background. Yeah, get him, Garbo. Computer voice. Final boss approaching. Here we go, Sant. The final boss. If I beat it, my name will go down forever in the annals of Southwestern Suburban District 4 arcade history, and then Laura will have to go out with me. Battle begin. And then the alien starts talking.
I think you texted me a version of you reading that.
Yeah, so it's really just literally like an audio like episode of a thing that I just made for fun.
So somebody.
Because quarantine. Go ahead.
No, you
No,
go.
I was just gonna say because quarantine makes you insane.
Or more sane, depending on how you look at it.
Sure.
Somebody wrote while you were talking about that. What's the process from storyline to song? Should we just try? I don't know.
I'm down. Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
Do we want to just like pick a couple of maybe one or two characters?
I was thinking we would go with what you just did, or yes, we could start fresh. I'm into that too.
Why don't we start fresh?
Okay. All right.
Cool.
So first character, and just to give people a little bit of insight into what is happening right now. We've never done this before. We didn't plan this. We don't have a plan, which is another way of saying that. And so in my mind right now, it's like Wheel of Fortune, like, you know, and I'm just like, whatever the first character is that comes into my brain. I just looked at a picture in my room that's a lighthouse, David Crosby poster that has an eyeball on it instead of a light. And the eyeball makes me think of this like all-knowing being.
All-knowing being. Cool.
Yeah. So
do we have a name for this being?
What do you think this being's like gender, if there is one, or name, or what do you know? Can you think of any qualities of that being?
I would say you said all-knowing, right?
Yeah, it's like an eye on a lighthouse.
I like the eye.
Yeah.
I'm sort of getting like Sauron, Lord of the Ring vibes, but what if it's not evil? What if it's like a neutral? Like not good or evil, but it like is a witness. It's just an observer at all times.
Oof. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna write down I, comma, the observer.
Ooh, that's a cool character name. I, the observer. Okay, done. That is all that I need really right now for that character. Now that it has a name, I feel like I know what I need to know. So now we're going to bring another character into I, the observer's realm. What do you see?
Okay. I see a visitor to the lighthouse. So some sort of person, being, something comes to this lighthouse, which is I, the observer's residence.
For some reason, I'm getting that it's a human male. He identifies as he. I am seeing him as a wanderer. Like, he didn't have a reason necessarily for going to the lighthouse. He didn't plan to go there that day. He was wandering around, like, on a walk, and saw it and had no plans and was like, I'm going to go in there.
Yeah.
How old do you think he is?
I would say like 30.
Yeah. Cool. 30 something.
So Did you say visitor or traveler?
Wanderer.
Wanderer.
Yeah.
So we have the observer and the wanderer. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
Juicy.
Yeah. So the meeting of the observer and the wanderer is profound.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's something there.
There's something there.
So
Does it feel? Sorry, there's direct sunlight.
Oh. I have I have a light that changes brightness and tone that I ordered, and I blame coronavirus.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay, so question.
Yes.
Is the perspective told from the eye, from the wanderer, from a fly on the wall perspective, or a fourth entity that we have not yet discovered?
Mm-hmm. The first thing that comes to my mind is from the perspective of the observer.
So like us.
Yeah. Are we the eye?
I was thinking that we are looking at the eye from afar, that like the eye is in the movie and we're watching the movie.
So we're like meta observers.
But that's just what I was thinking. I don't want to mess with whatever you were thinking.
No, I feel that. I was just clarifying.
Okay, so we've got I, the observer, the wanderer, and then we have observer, meta observer.
Yep.
Meta observer. Which is sort of feels like us.
Yeah.
From outside the song.
So is this all-knowing being, I the observer, is it also like eternal, or does it have a finite lifespan?
It is its body, the lighthouse.
Okay. I like that. I didn't even know that was the thing. I'm into that.
So its soul is eternal, but its body, the lighthouse, has been there for a couple hundred years.
Got it.
It's like, it kind of feels like a tree. Like it has like the wisdom of like an old tree. And but if the lighthouse were to be torn down, it's the soul, or it's like consciousness, lives on in other ways.
Right. It migrates.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe on a larger scale, the observer is also a wanderer, just slower. Oh my god!
I just went on a backwards slow motion roller coaster. Okay, so the eye is also a wanderer, just slower.
So like the eye migrates whenever its body naturally decays, and then finds a home in some sort of thing.
Love that. Okay.
Some sort of thing. Therefore, also an observer. Sorry, go ahead.
One of my tools, if you will, and I'm curious about yours as well throughout this entire process, is to always be looking for opportunities for more information, more progress. And what you just said gave me like 6 more questions, which I think is like, that's a gold mine, such as what was its home before, where, this was a big one that popped into my head, was like, what is the scene of the opening of the song? Like, do we begin in the lighthouse's past? Or do we begin in the moment that the wanderer enters the lighthouse? Or do we begin with the wanderer before it meets the lighthouse? That's what I'm curious about right now.
What if the eye has only ever really known solitude, and it only sort of spawns and respawns. Wow, I'm a video gamer. It only sort of spawns and respawns in places with that there isn't really anyone around. And so like this wanderer is maybe like the first person that it's actually engaged with. And so it starts like that.
Wow. So even people who operate the lighthouse, it doesn't correspond with?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I guess if it's a functional lighthouse, there would be some like general upkeep.
Maybe it's not a functional lighthouse. Maybe when the light shut off and stopped working, that's when the eye appeared.
Right. Ooh. Oh. And no one was the wiser.
Right.
For them, it was always just a lighthouse.
Yeah. No one thought to. I mean, maybe
Wow.
it's a different kind of eye.
Mm-hmm. I'm into that.
So then, in that sense, it's just been for however long we can change. We can change the number of years that it's. Like maybe the lighthouse has been there, but the consciousness only came when the lighthouse stopped working and no one's come inside. Maybe people have walked by, but no one's actually come inside and gone up the stairs.
Taking the time to like,
yeah,
get in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna create 2 columns just because what I've been doing has been very like random and guerrilla warfare. I don't even know if you can see that. So I'm gonna make a left column and a right column so I can just write down adjectives for each character.
I love that. So, oh, it was Ella that asked about the process of storyline to song. Oh, hi, Ella. So, okay, so my question stands. What is the first thing that you see when the movie of the song opens?
Mm-hmm. I think we see everything is the same. Everything is the span of the day begins, like the morning happens and everything seems normal like it's going to be and no one ever comes around except this particular day someone actually does come around.
Oh God, that was slower.
So basically what's going to happen is that it's so like everything seems like it's going to be regular old
as lame as this is, I might type because I'm faster at typing.
Type your truth.
Yeah. It's so it's like an ordinary day.
Yeah.
But on this particular day, someone comes around. This is already feeling like lyrics to me. Also, the span of the day begins was kind of cool. Sometimes the way we just like naturally speak things before it even occurs to us that it sounds cool, sometimes that is like that's totally a style with lyricism.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's a good reminder too. I haven't thought about that in a long
time. I love on this particular day someone comes around.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna jump forward and then we'll come back, but just to answer Ella's question, like let's pretend that we've committed, and also this is nice to like jump to music for a second to get us out of the like lyric world.
Totally.
Let's pretend that we've committed to, but on this particular day someone comes around. Are there any tweaks that you would like to make to the words or rhythm of that line?
On this particular day, someone comes around, right? That's what it is. On this particular day,
you can remove words.
I'm not mad at any part of it. Nothing makes me like, feel strange. I wonder if the word particular is not too like.
Me too. I agree.
Like, on this one day, on this fine day, on this.
Yeah, I leaned towards fine day, but there's something about on this fine day that feels like used or something.
Very.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously we can go with this and change it a million times later, but the point now is to try different ways of turning it into a melody. And maybe we can, so I'll do a very, very simple way, and then maybe we can also try the Ambrose exercise.
Oh yeah.
And there was another one that was a Kendrick. I can't remember what the Kendrick exercise was.
Oh, the if I could, I would tell you thing, where you assign a note to each word and then flip it around grammatically and change the corresponding notes.
And then also the Rubik's Cube.
The Rubik's Cube. I forgot about the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah. Okay. So the first one we're going to do is I'm going to call this like just simple, natural approach.
Also, someone suggested the word still, and I do like that word as well.
On this still day, I'm changing it. I'm loving it. Okay. So, but on this still day, how many syllables?
5.
Someone comes around. How many syllables?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right. So 5 and 5. But when you speak it naturally, where do you place the emphasis of these words?
But on this still day, someone comes around, right?
Yeah.
But on this still day, someone comes around. I feel like, but on day, someone round, like
but
some round.
On this still day, or but on this still day. Which one do you like better?
Still day. Okay. That I like that. It kind of also gives it the sense of still, as in like it's still today, like it is still today.
Someone comes around, or someone comes around.
Someone comes around. Someone comes around.
Round.
I think I hear some more, but I also hear it's like round is a very close second. I could go either way. What are you feeling?
Someone comes around, or someone comes around.
Duh, 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 or duh, duh, duh.
Yeah.
I think that one.
Someone comes around.
Yeah.
Okay, so no comes. So now we're going to, so I'm going to read it, and then you're going to read it, and then I'm going to read it, and I'm going to lean in the direction of a melody, and then you're going to take what I leaned, and you're going to lean further in a direction of a melody, and we're going to play telephone until suddenly we're singing a melody, okay?
Amazing, amazing.
But on this still day, someone comes around.
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 Yes, I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Comes around. Yeah. But on this still day, someone comes around. Yeah.
I love starting with but too. I love like
yeah.
starting with like words that are normally connecting words, like and or but or.
Yeah.
As like the very first thing you hear, I think is a really cool vibe.
Trey Shakespeare.
Trey. Well, still there's some. But on this still day, or what are we doing? Da 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 da. Or boat.
I mean, it could be. That's the kind of thing that could be one way the first time and one way the second time.
Yeah.
But I really liked it, the up one.
The up one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's an exercise to get something that is natural to the spoken emphasis of the words. Exercise 1, done. Exercise 2, Ambrose interval exercise. Go!
Mastercise. So this exercise is one that actually learned from Walter Smith, but he got it from Ambrose.
Okay.
And if anyone out there knows anything to the contrary, tell me. But I'm pretty sure that's how it went. But basically, you take two intervals, or you take a certain number of intervals, and you write a melody based on those intervals in any direction that you want. So the one example, he has this
What
song
are
called
intervals?
Intervals is like the distance from one note to another note. So like dun dun is a perfect fourth. Dun dun is a perfect octave. Those are both examples of intervals. Ambrose has a song called Aroka where basically he uses a fifth, first, and then a second, and the melody sounds really cool. So the melody is a de do do de do de do de do de do da do da do da. So it's like fifth, second, fifth, second, fifth, second, fifth, second, fifth, and like obviously when we're listening to it, we're not like analyzing like, okay, he's gonna play fifth now, he's gonna play second, right? But it's a cool way to sort of like find cool melodies that you might not normally think of intuitively right away.
I love it. It has such a cool sound to it. It's a totally different vibe. And I think it's interesting for people to see how the different approach leads to different results.
Totally.
Emotionally, sonically. So let's try it really, really quickly. So how do you feel about tritones?
I'm down with tritones.
Okay, I feel like it's fun. I mean, that's going to make it harder, but they sound kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So let's do tritones and seconds. And the seconds can be half steps or whole steps.
Okay, tritones and seconds.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
are we oh, go ahead.
Should I pick a sequence for you?
That was my next question. Go right on ahead.
Oh my god. So the sequence will be just down, up, down, up, down, up, down.
Okay. Down, up, down, up. Yep, down. Yep. Oh, right. I don't have to write it down because it's literally repeating. Great. Wait, so was it down and then up and then down and then up and then down?
Love it.
Okay. So, but I can choose either or. It doesn't have to be like second, then tritone, then second, right?
Create your own adventure. But a tritone's a tritone, but you can choose whatever kind of second and in any order that you want for now.
Got it. But on this still day, someone comes around.
Yeah.
And I'll start on the same note that we were starting on just to see like how it sounds differently.
Yeah.
But on this still day, someone comes around.
Okay. All right. So I just feel like I should say, that is so beautiful. And also the fact that you were given free will meant that it was sort of a mixture between the like brainy interestingness of the interval exercise and then also the naturalness of the first exercise.
Yeah.
Someone comes around is like, that doesn't sound like an interval exercise.
Right. I hear that. I feel that.
What if I take away your free will?
Okay.
Down is always, oh, this is going to get high. Down is always whole or half steps.
Okay.
And up is always tritone.
Okay.
Down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. 7 notes.
So we're still following the down, up, down, up, down, up, down.
Oh, it should be 10, but on this still day, someone comes around. Yeah, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah.
Okay. So down is seconds, up is tritones. Or did I flip that? No, that's right. Okay.
I hope it's not going to get too high. Let's see.
Oh. All right. But on this still day. But on this. Oh no, I still have to follow the down, down. Right, right, right. But on this still. But on this still day. But on this still day, some. Yeah, I have to start lower. But on this, there it is. But on this still, but on this still day, but on this still day, one turns around.
Oof. You did that way better than I would have. Can you do it
Did
again
I?
now that you know that it make down is always a half step, just so that it's like
Got it.
a thing.
Got it. But on this still day, nope. But on this still day, someone comes around.
That is
Whoa.
so stinky.
Whoa,
That feels
that's crazy.
That feels to me like the end of a song.
I feel that.
That's
wow.
Cool. Fire.
That sort of made me.
You got like 15 fire songs. Emoticons. What am I? Who am I?
That reminded me of what was it? There was like this exercise we used to do in college that this is reminding me of, but I can't remember it. It'll probably come back.
Oh, you were a nerd in college.
And I still am.
It felt like the sophisticated lady or like peacocks or something.
I hear the peacocks. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear the okay, does the Kendrick exercise work with this, or should we skip to Rubik's Cube?
I think the Kendrick exercise could work. I think the way to do it would be basically we would have to determine what our melody is. I think maybe we could use the original melody, whatever it was. Look on the still day. Someone turns around. Someone turns around. And then we flip it so that it grammatically still makes sense. So like, someone comes around on this still day, but someone comes around on this still day. On this still day, someone but comes around. You know what I mean? Like.
Remind me what the exercise is.
So basically, you attach. I don't know if this works without staff paper though. I feel like it's way harder to do without like visually being able to like see the notes. That way you can just sort of like plot them out for each other.
Right.
Maybe it's not conducive.
But what is it? Maybe I can make it work.
Okay, so basically, like say for example, the example he always uses is if I could, I would tell you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So like, if I could, I would tell you. If I could, I would tell you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then in English, you could also say, I would tell you if I could. What's another way to say that sentence? If I could, I would tell you. Oh, that's the original one. I would tell you if I could.
I would if I could tell you.
Yeah.
Did you say
I tell you if I would could.
I would could tell you if I.
And then basically you where you move the word, you move the corresponding note. And then you take that as a melody.
Oh, as wow. It reminds me a little bit of the take me out to the ball game displacement game.
Oh, you're really good at that.
I know.
Yeah. I tried, I shed it for like a day and I was like.
I got up to like 6 displacements. I was practicing a lot for a while.
That's incredible. That's really hard to do.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get home. So it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. So it's 1, 2, 3 strikes are out in the old ball game. Oh, I fucked it up. There should only be one note at the end.
Ball game.
I think there's supposed to be root. That's why I did root twice. It should be root Root, root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. So it's 1, 2, 3 strikes are out in the old ball game. And then take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd by me. Some Cracker Jacks, some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get home. So it's root, root, root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. So it's 1, 2, 3 strikes are out in the old ball game.
The double fart.
That's the most enthusiastically I've ever clapped for myself.
I mean, one more random one is this is like less of a compositional thing and more of just like a dumb challenge. But basically, you sing a melody with the same contour, and the person has to guess what song it is. But you're only allowed to use half steps. So okay. No, of course. All right, I got it.
Oh, so you're singing a familiar song with the wrong intervals.
Exactly. Like you have to follow the shape of it, but you can only use half steps. That's it. Everybody got it.
So it's just like a person who has a very short range singing a song. Happy birthday
making it work for
to
them.
you. Happy birthday to you. Like that kind of thing.
Happy birthday, dear someone.
Somebody was asking, and then I'm going to do my version and you have to guess mine. But several people, okay. Hallelujah! Oh my God. Someone was asking what the Take Me Out to the Ball Game was doing. You're just keeping the melody the same, but moving the lyrics back one syllable at a time. So instead of take me out to the ball game, it's take me out to the ball game, take me out to the ball game, take me out to the crowd by me. So you can do it with any song at home. Enjoy.
Bon me.
Bon me some sandwiches with cilantro on them. Okay, now I'm gonna do your thing that you did on Hallelujah, and you have to guess what song it is.
Okay.
And it's all half steps?
It's all half steps.
Okay. Da 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 da.
Less life.
Easy. It's like kind of the same melody.
The only reason I got it was because of the
where you can see that they've been washed away. Cool. Okay, Rubik's Cube.
Rubik's Cube. So
this is one being invented right now.
Literally, this is being invented right now. So this is a Rubik's Cube. I guess. Well, I'll mix it up after we determine what each color will represent. So basically, this is an idea that we came up with yesterday, where each color on the Rubik's Cube represents like a topic or an emotion. I feel like maybe less an emotion and more like a swath of an idea, right?
Yeah.
So we have 6 sides. So like, what is
or
red?
If you think about like with tarot, you have like each thing is not to get too like metaphysical, but like you have like God. You could do like earthly realm, emotional realm, intellectual realm. What's the other one? Anyway, it could be split into many different kinds of things, like these things.
Yeah. The fortune tellers from elementary school and middle school and high school and college. Yeah. Yeah, okay, well then, so what do we want each color to mean? What
Um,
does red mean to you?
fire, desire, passion,
Okay?
danger, um,
Fire, desire,
blood,
passion.
life.
Does red represent life more than another color?
It's different kind of life. Like green is like life and fortune in like a
Uh-huh.
vibrant way, and red is like
Zest.
more like, yeah, like our connection to the source, or like zest, yeah, lust, passion. I don't know.
Yep, that describes a picture. So fire, desire, passion, danger, zest. What was the last word you said?
Um,
Lust.
did I see? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so blue.
Ooh, somebody said caution. I like that.
For what? For red?
I guess, yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
I feel like blue, like the classic thing is like water, flowy type energy.
Right. Maybe intellect, air, that kind of like the
Mm.
astrology stuff too.
Intellect, air.
Sky,
Um, what did you say?
sky.
Sky,
There's like space. It's very open.
spacious. We also have. Oh, I guess I should also say what color options we have. We have red, blue, green, white, yellow, orange.
Oh, wow, that changes things. Red, blue, green,
Cold. Someone said it like that.
white, yellow.
Calm, peace. Oh, hi, mom.
Oh, I think she might have also commented on that song that you were talking about.
Oh, she did. Yeah, she
She was
did.
like, the final
She did.
version was great.
And it was.
Okay, so in that case, all right. So white is the absence of color, right? Or is
Sure.
black? Which one's all colors and which one's the absence of color?
Well, technically, white reflects all colors, but the thing itself like doesn't actually like have the color. Like it doesn't absorb any of the colors. Versus
Oh,
black is absorbing all the colors, but it's not reflecting any of the colors.
the eye. White is the eye on the lighthouse.
Ooh, tie it on in.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
It reflects all the colors, but doesn't
Yeah.
absorb them.
Oh,
Is
oh.
that what you
Okay,
said?
wait. It is what I said.
And
White.
then maybe the wanderer is black. The
Mm-hmm.
wanderer absorbs but doesn't reflect. I can't remember which one you said was which, but
Yeah. Yeah. White reflects, doesn't absorb. Black absorbs, doesn't reflect.
okay, black absorbs. Yeah, like the wanderer.
Right.
But we don't have black as an option.
We don't. But that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
The idea still stands.
Yeah.
Stands. Um. So okay. So we have. Do we want to go to white? Do we want to like list a few more adjectives for white? Do we have more people saying things for white? If you guys also in the comments, if you want to say, because our colors are red, blue, green, white, yellow, orange, just like type a color and then an equal sign and then what you associate with that color.
Yeah, I like that idea. For yellow, obvious thing is like joy.
Uh-huh.
Um,
I
uh-oh.
have to sneeze, but it's not coming.
Somebody
I think this
said,
is the idea.
Somebody said like the black hole. Oh,
How it absorbs
friction,
everything.
like the black hole.
Okay, cool. It's also like because the black hole is black because it's absorbing all the light, but it's not like giving off any light because it's like taking it all in.
We need more for orange and yellow. Ooh, peace. I like that. Hope and
what?
peace. I don't know. People aren't writing the. Oh, okay. Sorry. I need to scroll down. Ooh, my bad. Okay. White is space. Green is life, balance. Yellow is youth. White is air. Green is birth, creation, life. God, there's some good stuff in here. Orange is food. Like that.
Orange is food. Cool.
Yellow is forgivement.
I like that. Joy,
Cool
forgiveness. Maybe like yellow can be like outward emotion. Because what do joy and forgiveness have in common?
Yeah, outward
Like they both
display.
radiate.
Yeah, radiating outward emotion.
Yeah. Orange equals nourish. I like that.
And maybe red is more inward, held in emotion, like desire and
Mm.
anger and lust and
Yeah, hedonism.
yeah.
So we're saying like green is life. Orange equals expression. Interesting. Green is nature.
Ooh, I like orange's expression.
So also, just so you guys know, the idea behind this and how it ties into the Rubik's Cube is, so there's 6 sides, and basically, because now that we've determined what each of these colors is going to mean, when we mix this up, if we pick a square at random, whatever the color combination of that square is, we pick those 3 or 2 like emotional zones, and we say what it is. So should we get a couple more words, or should we?
I have, I've been taking notes on things that are coming in. I really like this one. Orange is a shoulder to lean on, and it also ties in with this. Food came through, autumn, expression, positivity. It sort of feels like there's something nostalgic about orange.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that.
Like
Nostalgic.
yeah, and nourishing.
And it seems to me like when people describe green as nature, that's like sort of like an upward growth, like nature growing up and out into the world, as opposed to like orange sort of feels more like seasons, like things that are sort of like changing, as opposed to growing.
Yes. So the only one that I'm missing words on is white, but I think that's because we were saying that one's like the eye, or like the what did you have down for white?
I wrote I lighthouse, and then someone in the chat wrote space.
Space.
Any other words for white?
Let me scroll back. I feel like there were some a while ago.
I'm just gonna do a weird dance until someone writes a word for white. I'm gonna do a dance.
Yeah, you do that. I'm gonna scroll. Man,
oh, people are really liking orange.
Killing it. Yeah, there's something about orange.
Ooh, heaven, afterlife. Ooh.
Peace was one from a while ago.
For what?
For white.
Oh, cool. Someone also said peace for blue.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, there seems to be some connection between white and blue, and also some connection between yellow and orange.
Oh, wow, interesting. Yeah.
And some connection between red and yellow. It's like the opposing emotional forces. Let's go with this.
Can you say those color combinations that we're going together one more time?
Yeah. So blue and white feel kindred.
Okay.
Red and yellow seem like opposing, like opposite ends of the zodiac.
Yeah.
And orange and yellow feel kindred.
That's really interesting. It doesn't fit together totally,